So Laoag in the Philippines, it's the very furthest north of all the missions. Like, we're on the giant island, I think it's called Luzon, but it's like this, and we're just like on the very north edge. So like the whole thing is just, well, not the whole thing, but a lot of it's on the beach. And there's 4 provinces, all the Philippines divided into provinces. So we had like Ilocos Sur, Ilocos Norte, Cagayan, and Apayao, which no missionaries are actually in Apayao yet. But that'll be the day, because I've heard of, they actually started to send elders into Apayao, which was exciting. But yeah, they're just really ready. And it's probably, so Laoag is right in the middle. It's probably, I never went to Vegan, that was one of the areas down south, but I think, I don't know if it's like 4 or 8 hours down, but then to go up to like the other end, Santa Ana, it's probably a good 10-hour drive, I want to say. But it's got like a lot of stops and stuff, so it's not terribly big, but it's probably bigger than anything in the States, maybe, I don't know. They taught us Tagalog in the MTC, and we're like, great, we're speaking Tagalog. And there was 3 of us, me and my 2 companions, going to Laoag. And I didn't know that there was like so many languages in the Philippines, so we got there, and it's like off the best 2 years, where he goes, that ain't the language they taught me in the MTC, except for it really wasn't. They taught us Tagalog, and we got there, and everyone speaks Ilocano. And for the longest time, I couldn't even tell the difference between the 2. It's cool because if you speak Tagalog to someone, they'll speak it back. Generally, about 80%, I would say, can speak it back, except for like the really old people and the really little kids, because they've never been anywhere else. But in their day-to-day conversations, they all speak Ilocano, and then up in Cagayan, they speak like a different dialect of Ilocano. I forgot what it was called. But I could kind of understand the one in Ilocos Norte, like down where it's originated, but up north, couldn't understand them. I could tell it was Ilocano, but not what they were saying at all. So when I got there, there was under 200, and not a lot of them were sisters for a while. Like all the sisters were training, except for like the sister training leaders. But then they had a huge influx of sisters, and we had over 200. I want to say like 220, 230. I don't know. I heard that the Philippines grew more in the 50 years it was dedicated for missionary work than any other country. I think it got several 100,000, but it was the fastest growing. It's because they're so prepared. They all believe in God. They're so Christian. They're so humble and good and fun. But it's just really prepared people. In my first year and my last year, because they were both in the same city, it was really nice. We had a nice church with a font, and one of the churches, my first area, even had like air conditioning. That was nice. A lot of the places have churches now, but in my third area in Sanchez Mira, we just like had a branch house, and we were right by the ocean, and they didn't have anywhere for fonts, so we had to, for all the baptisms, it was cool. We take our tricy, which a tricy is like a motorcycle with like a small sidecar or whatever, like krooms, which is kind of like a tricy. And we take those all out, and we go to this river that was connected to the ocean. There's like jellyfishes floating upstream and whatnot. And that's where we'd baptize people. So I felt pretty legit. They're baptizing in the river. They have 2 temples in the Philippines right now. They're building a 3rd. The closest one to us, they have one in Cebu, and the closest one is in Manila. And we never got to go to the temple because it was like 8 hours away, but right before we went home, we were able to go, and it was so cool. So they park at the MTC, and then they have this like underground tunnel, and then it comes up at the temple. So we went into the underground tunnel, and then it was just like you hit this wall of peace and comfort, and it's so different because you haven't felt that for however many months or years. And I don't think I've ever felt the Spirit so strong or like as peaceful and like happy as I felt that. We were able to go up and like go into the temple, and I just remember that session just like smiling the whole time. Just like the happiest girl there could be, because I'd never felt so much peace, and it was so good to feel that again.